Hello, my name is Matt Frewer, and welcome to Sci-Fi Talk. Come on, join along. Jump on the bandwagon. Everybody else has. Oh, God, another hayride.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson.
Hi, I'm V.M. Zito, author of The Return Man.
Hi, this is Nick Groff from Ghost Adventures.
Hi, this is Wendy and Lisa.
Hey, I'm Leah Thompson.
Hi, I'm Amanda Tapping from Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, and Sanctuary.
Hi, this is Rene Aubergenois. I play Shapeshifter Odo on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Hi, I'm Kippley Brown, and I play Hoyle in Yesterday Was a Lie, as well as Crewman Taylor on Star Trek Enterprise. Qapla'.
My name is Neville Peach, and I'm a concept designer in film.
I am Emily Hampshire, and I play Jennifer Goins on 12 Monkeys, and you're listening to Sci-Fi Talk.
Hi, this is Tony Tellado, and we have a complete conversation with composer Marco Beltrami, who scored the recent Gods of Egypt. He has a long relationship with Alex Proyas dating back to his days working on iRobot. Here's my conversation with this talented composer. As we spoke, he's literally between recording sessions of the newest Ben-Hur at Skywalker Ranch.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, Marco. How are you? Good to talk to you again.
Good.
I think we saw each other last time at San Diego Comic-Con a few years back.
Yeah.
But we've been talking on and off for a few years now, and I have to tell you, for Gods of Egypt, this is the strangest coincidence the movie came out when it did, because I was in Egypt in December. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
And we went to Giza, pyramids, and I rode a camel, which I will not do again. Saw the Sphinx, and I'll tell you the mythology and the story of Set and Horus was I can't tell you how many temples we visited where there were hieroglyphics on their battle, and then our guide was really cool in telling us the whole story of it, and here they are on the big screen now. So look at that. But
yeah.
From a score-wise, what I really liked is, I just love the instrumentation. You seem to go not more. You had strings, but you kind of went more towards the, I guess, the horn section a little bit. But it's kind of a softer horn. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it was because of the epic nature of the film. It warranted a strong horn presence. Certainly, yeah. It was, a very thematic score.
Now, how did this come about for you?
Well, I've been working with Alex Proyas for a few years now, starting with iRobot. I remember, I guess it was about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, perhaps. We were just starting on a project called Paradise Lost, based on the Milton play. He's a very visual director, and based on technology that hadn't quite been developed yet. So the script was amazing. The story was really good. It was hard. It got canned because the technology wasn't quite up to it. But I think some of those same visual things that he was working on were things that he was interested in exploring, and he came across Gods of Egypt. So we started on it quite a while ago. I mean, it was a huge undertaking. I wrote some music before they started shooting because they needed it for certain things like the coronation and a couple other places. But the bulk of it was, I think it was almost 2 years of post-production, a year and a half, something really extraordinary. For a long time, it was just working to storyboards and visuals that got more and more filled in as time went by. I mean, it took a little bit of imagination in the beginning. It was quite a feat, I think, to be able to shoot these things and know what was going to be happening around the actors when nothing was really there. So it's a tough movie in the fact that it's not it's an origin movie. There's nothing to precede this that get an audience familiar with the concept and the characters and all that. But I think it's an extraordinary feat.
Yeah, as I said, it's really become legendary, the struggle between Set and Horus. And I can't tell you how many places we visited. It's such a part of Egyptian culture and of those days. It's very central to their mythology, and it's really good versus evil, that's how long that team's been around, really, over 2,000 years. It's really very central.
Yeah, it's a very classic theme.
Yeah. As far as it sounds like you referenced some of the area's music a little bit in the score, especially kind of evoked a little Lawrence of Arabia to me a little bit.
Well, definitely. I mean, the first thing I did when I started actually working on the score was I went and hung out with Alex, and we talked about the movies that inspired him for this film, and they were classic family action adventure movies. We watched Lawrence of Arabia, we watched Black Narcissus, we watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, things that had strong themes and were colorful and playful, and he really wanted to make that old style of family adventure movie, but with employing this new technology.
The challenge to make something like this, as you mentioned, with the CGI and the actors, but it's such a grand scale, there isn't much of Egypt that looks like that anymore. So,
no. Right.
I mean, I saw remnants of what it looked like, and you have to kind of use your imagination. The Egyptians...
Well, that's what it was. It's a big imaginative, and license was taken and all that, but it was basically just a really creative, imaginative approach to mythology.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, one thing visiting those places, the Egyptians never did any temple where they did it small. Everything was huge. They really went overboard on it, but that's the way the pharaohs were. They aligned themselves to the gods. And these are two of the biggies in their pantheon. So, it's I'm surprised it took this long to make a movie about them, because it's really been around for such a long time.
Yeah.
It sounds like for you, though, you had to write a lot of music for this. Is this like one of your most challenging scores that you had to work on?
Yes, definitely. The CD, only has 75 or so minutes on it, but I actually wrote 2.5 hours of music for the movie. There's some cues that were had alternates and so forth. Like the beginning of the movie, was an alternate. There were two ways to approach it, and but we recorded both. There's scenes where we spotted to have music. In the end, it was overkill, so some was stripped out in the end. So there's not that much. There's not 2.5 hours of music in the movie, but yeah, a lot was written. We recorded down in Australia for a month.
Mm.
It was a big challenge. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of work. The picture was evolving as we were going. There was, new scenes coming in. I mean, we were working. Alex was down in Australia and we were in Los Angeles. So we'd send things back and forth and have talks and make some revisions. And the main Gods of Egypt theme, was something that after everyone could hear it with the orchestra, became popular, and there's places that we wanted to use it more than originally anticipated. So there was a lot of work went into it.
I liked the prologue was beautiful, and then you had you had some choral work in this too a little bit, which I liked.
We did that all down in Australia. They did a good job, the choir. And
there was actually a soloist on Hathor's theme, and I got to tell you, this is really funny, but I visited the Temple of Hathor when we were in Egypt. We went, so that was really wild to see that. I go, wow, that's cool. Now, if I remember correctly, I might get this wrong, but I believe he was the alligator god, maybe, and they actually, if it was him, they actually had mummified alligators there, which was really wild to see. But yeah, that was cool. Very nice. And you had a nice soloist singing that particular piece too. Really liked it.
That was, actually, we did that, recorded that in Los Angeles, before we went over, Hathor music. But, it's good. We got some interesting stuff. We had also a Mongolian singer who's able to sing more than one pitch at the same time, which is what they specialize in. Like you have a low fundamental and sing harmonies with it. And that was used for set, and sets Red Army, and it's mixed in with the brass and the low strings, but it's to color it and give it a darker personality.
Yeah, it sounds like it was something. But now, did you use a full orchestra, or did you kind of like pick and choose?
We had a full orchestra. Not every cue used every instrument, but we sort of maxed out the recording room down in Sydney. There comes a point where there's too many instruments for the room. There's not enough air to move them. I think we were just about hit that limit with about 90 players.
I have to also credit you for another score you did, Snowpiercer. I totally loved that movie. It was such a great movie, and it's part of this really cool wave of independent, movies that are being made. Although I don't think it would be made right now with Chris Evans because he's moved on and done so many big things since then. But that was such a great score. Really, such an interesting story, and really talks about so many different things. Kind of reflect on that a little bit and talk about working on that one.
I'm extremely creative director Bong.
He's amazing.
Korea. He's made some amazing movies, and this certainly was one of them. When I read the script and he started showing me the visual images for it, it was just the whole concept of moving forward through these train cars, and each train car being different and having its own identity it definitely inspired me musically, this idea of a perpetual engine and how do you represent that as a musical idea, and coming up with a theme for Yona or humanity. It was a great allegory, and musically very inspiring for me. That we did not have a full orchestra. That was just a chamber group that we recorded at my studio in Malibu. But yeah, very interesting project, and he's certainly one of the great directors of our time.
Yeah, I think so too. And I did like your work also on World War Z. That was that movie. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was totally thrilled after watching it. And it's really amazing what they did. They had to use Malta instead of Israel. It looks so much like it. I would have never known. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, they did a great job. It was, and that movie was, that was a long process as well. They shot and then pretty dark, the original version of it, story. So they went back and reshot quite a bit to make it, more of a family friendly movie. Really well done. Well acted, well shot, and again, another inspiring thing to score.
I got it. There aren't many Westerns made these days, but you got a good one in 310 To Yuma. That was a good score, too. And it was great to see those actors involved and the very underrated Ben Foster, too.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Actually, Tommy Lee Jones just emailed me. He's going to be remaking The Cowboys. So,
nice.
That should be a fun one to do. I love Westerns are probably what got me into film scoring to begin with. The spaghetti westerns, and they don't make too many of them these days, so it's great to have the opportunity.
Yeah, I hope that comes to pass. That's a really cool movie. I like the original a lot, and there's a lot of potential, and it's a good story for empowerment too, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And last I heard, you're working on a remake of Ben-Hur with Mystery.
That's what I'm doing right now. We're up at Skywalker in San Francisco right now. We recorded last week. We're mixing and trying to chase the dub, which begins tomorrow. Yeah, it's again, a lot of music, 120 minutes of music, and just a lot of pieces to put together. We recorded some stuff at my studio, and some up here, and it's a lot of elements to put together. I had someone come down from Pacific Northwest that specializes in ancient Greek instruments, and we had recording sessions with that to incorporate some authentic specialty vocalists and electric fiddle, and then the orchestra here and woodwinds, and vocalist. It's a lot of different pieces, proving a challenge under the time constraint to get it all wrapped up here.
I'm looking forward to that one. I mean, Jack Houston is an actor. I've been admiring his work on Boardwalk Empire, and he's just an amazing actor, and I'd love to see what he does with Ben-Hur.
Oh, yeah, he does fine work in this.
Cool. Very cool. Have they redone the chariot race? I would think they would.
Yeah, chariot race looks amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, with the technology nowadays, you can imagine what they can add to it that they couldn't do. Although you got to credit them back in the 50s, what they did without any CGI. They did a hell of a job. But well, I think they achieved this without killing anybody. So I think
that's
good. That's good. Well, thanks for talking to me, Mark. Always a pleasure. And sounds like you're busy, but you're doing some really quality stuff, which is great.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's pleasure to speak with you.
So what's it, I got to ask you, what's it like to work at Skywalker?
It's the best facility around. First of all, the scoring stage is better than the sound of the room is better than any room in L.A. It was built as a scoring stage. It's more like European, like Abbey Road type of vibe. And the facility itself is just phenomenal. You stay up here. It's such a creative, beautiful environment in Marin, north of San Francisco, and I love being up here.
Do you see like all kinds of droids and and stormtroopers around there, kind of like this on display around there?
There's some display. There's a main house up there. They have some cases with original artifacts from both Star Wars and like Indiana Jones movies, which is kind of neat, like a little museum. Everyone sort of does their own thing. There's a lot of different projects going on, and it's a very creative environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a first-rate facility. I haven't heard anything less to say otherwise. So that's awesome. Thanks again, and good luck at Skywalker. Part of me would love to be there just to kind of poke around, but
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Well, thanks again, man, and good luck. And looking forward to Ben-Hur.
Great, thank you.
All right, take care. Special thanks to Costa Communications. The soundtrack for Gods of Egypt will be available as well. And you can subscribe to the Sci-Fi Talk podcast at sci-fi-talk.com, where you can even subscribe for Android there. And of course at iTunes. And while you're there, get the Sci-Fi Talk app for only $1.99. This is Tony Tellado. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.
Hi, this is Peter Utterbridge. I'm in Saw 6, and you're listening to Sci-Fi Talk.